For most people, one successful career is enough. For just about everyone else, the conclusion of an award-winning second career surely triggers a soft shift into cruise mode. And then there's Dave Phillips, who accomplished both. Then he followed his heart to the third and perhaps most important career of his life, lifting families out of poverty. Our goals grow out of our values in life, and Dave's values were shaped early. He was not born to wealth or privilege. In fact, he was the first in his family to go to college. Some think his simple beginnings drove him to be the very best he could be at whatever he chose to do, no matter the circumstances. After a stint in the Army, he was recruited to work at a Big Five accounting firm, his first career. He set out to be the very best professional in the industry. There is ample evidence to prove he was just that. During his tenure at Arthur Andersen, he led an enterprise-wide reorganization of the $6 billion firm and headed complex R&D programs that had an impact on people in 73 different countries, all while serving on many different community boards and directing dozens of civic projects. He was the consummate leader with rolled-up sleeves.
Why was the firm so successful? Because Dave was so dedicated to the people that worked for him and to the firm's clients. But Dave wasn't just about business success. He taught us, he preached to us, that it was our responsibility as successful people to give back to the community. And he encouraged each and every one of us that worked at Arthur Andersen to get involved in the community in a way that was meaningful to us. He inspired us in that way, and he was the perfect role model.
After 30 years, Dave retired from Arthur Andersen as managing director. He said it was time to help others. He plunged into his second career, becoming the first chief executive officer of Downtown Cincinnati, Inc. The mission was vital for the city and tailor-made for Dave. Create a nonprofit business organization from the ground up and turn a tired and fading part of the city into a dynamic piece of the metropolitan action. Working with members, sponsors, and property owners of the Downtown Cincinnati Improvement District, he began transforming the area between Eggleston Avenue, Central Parkway, Central Avenue, and the Ohio River into a safe, clean, and vibrant part of our urban core. And in the process, he earned Cincinnati a place on the Fortune magazine list of top 5 up-and-coming downtowns.
At DCI, Dave got the thing energized and going when we were really struggling downtown. And DCI made a tremendous impact on the future of downtown Cincinnati. It's also the same time that the Equity Fund was founded. And Dave kind of put both of those together, and they both survive and prosper to this day. Other organizations have also come along to complement them, but DCI was the fundamental first one that got everything going. And Dave was the first real leader, and he got everything going. And I think we're very, very happy that he and Leanne came back to Cincinnati to make it their longtime home. I know we got a bargain at $1 a year, but I'll tell you what, it was very, very, very much appreciated that he came back and said, I'm going to put my stake in the ground and make this city all it could be. And boy, has he.
Dave's work with Downtown Cincinnati, Inc. also added urgency to a separate and personal goal he shared with his wife, Leanne. For some time, the two had planned to spend their retirement years helping women and men who live in poverty to find and keep good jobs. In fact, more than a year before he retired, Dave and Leanne had begun actively exploring poverty to employment programs in other cities, looking at the results, researching different models, asking themselves which ones might work in Cincinnati. That's why not long after Dave left Arthur Andersen, he and Leanne already had a good start on Cincinnati Works. It's a nonprofit employment program designed to reduce the number of people living below the poverty level by helping them to become self-sufficient through work. His work with Downtown Cincinnati, Inc. had sealed it for Dave. He saw the undeniable link between economic growth and development, employment and the reduction of poverty, and so after taking a lead in the resurgence of the city, Dave left Downtown Cincinnati, Inc. to devote full time to his third career, serving with Leanne as co-founders of Cincinnati Works. His logic was clear, as Dave said. God has been very good to us, so why shouldn't we take our energy to do what needs to be done, to do our share. People in poverty are our neighbors, and we ought to do something about it. That was almost 20 years ago. And since then, Cincinnati Works has grown to include a network of more than 75 employer partners, and it has helped more than 5,000 people to begin their journey to gain economic self-sufficiency through work. The continuous retention rate of its members is about 70%, which is nearly double the national average for nonprofit programs with similar missions. The difference lies in the carefully constructed Cincinnati Works program model that is based on research and analysis. It is successful because once the members are employed, they aren't abandoned. Cincinnati Works helps with childcare, transportation, counseling, legal services, and whatever is needed to get solidly on the path to independence. The model is now being replicated in 20 different places, including Covington, Kentucky, Dayton, Ohio, Georgetown, South Carolina, Northfield, Minnesota, and Houston, Texas. The long-term goal of Cincinnati Works is for the underemployed to earn 200% of the federal poverty guidelines and to become stable in a job that offers benefits and hope for the future. It's a goal worthy of Dave Phillips, whose desire is to make Cincinnati a great place and is driven by a heart that holds a special place for the poor and abandoned. It's part of Dave's commitment to leave things better than when he got here, and we're all the better for it.
I'm delighted to be here. I'm not sure who that was on that video. Let me just make it real clear. I didn't do any of this. This was done by hundreds, thousands of people at Arthur Andersen, who even today are some of the best supporters of Cincinnati Works. They're very special people, and I thank them for giving us the ability to do what we do. DCI. DCI was really a dream of the business community. Could we do something about downtown? Downtown's now a fun place to come, but that wasn't done by me. That was done by Rick Growey and all the great staff we put together. Dave Ginsburg, who continues the safe and clean of downtown. And isn't it kind of neat to go downtown today? Isn't it a wonderful thing? But think about all the people and all the folks that made that happen. And then finally, as Leanne and I think, we've been preparing all of our lives to help our neighbors go to work, stay at work, become economically self-sufficient, and take care of their children, and do what you and I know is the right thing to do. This issue of poverty is a big deal, and it is not acceptable in the community where Leanne and I are going to live. And so we're going to spend the rest of our lives trying to do something about it. But I look at all the volunteers we have, all those corporate clients and partners that were on the list, 18 other nonprofits that make this thing work. And then the tenacity of the human spirit. You can't imagine what it's like for the person to take that step and say, okay, I'm willing to risk all so I can take care of my family rather than the government. That's a big deal. These are wonderful, wonderful neighbors. And I'm going to revert to my accounting. We think of people in poverty as a liability. The message I want to get across this evening is it is the greatest asset. It is the largest unemployed labor force in America since women entered the labor force in the 40s. This is a big deal, and we have to start thinking about this population as an asset to become gainfully employed, take care of their children, and lead a good life. I am delighted to be associated with the other 4 members of this audience, this group. I'm delighted that Junior Achievement, who, when I was at Arthur Anderson, we sponsored a Junior Achievement group each year. I'm delighted to be honored. I'm humbled by it, and that might seem strange, but I really am. Thanks to my grandchildren who are here, my wife, who has been my conscience and my soul partner. Thank you all for being here. Thanks for all you do for this community. And let's go Cincinnati. Thanks.